Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Behind the camera, at the news desk, on the sideline, coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Off the Field with 1011 sports reporter Kendall Lanier on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to Off the Field. I'm Kendall Lanier. You can use 402-464-5685 for the Starter Heyman text line and to put a face to the voice. You can watch on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Allo Cable channel 961. Welcome in. Today, I'm so excited to be joined by Izzy Panetta. If you don't know her, I don't know how, because she is the creative behind Nebraska Volleyball and Nebraska Men's and Women's Gymnastics. Associate Director of Creative and Emerging Media. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to have you on because you do a lot. You had a busy volleyball season and now getting into gymnastics. But can you first just kind of tell us what you really do?
Yeah. Like you mentioned, my title is an Associate Director of Creative and Emerging Media, and I'm one of 4 in our office. And so, yeah, I'm the head of content for volleyball. And I do almost everything you see online, basically. So photo, video, graphic design, all the fun stuff too, like TikToks and Reels. Most of that's me. I also have a huge amount of help from my student intern crew. And so they're a huge part of that and definitely what you see online.
Yeah, I love that. And volleyball season was crazy for you.
Yes.
On the road, you traveled with the team and then you went to Louisville. What was that whole experience like for you from your perspective?
Yeah. I mean, when you work with the team as amazing as the volleyball team here, like you get to be a part of those major experiences, like going to Final Fours. Like we went to back-to-back Final Fours, like last year and this year. And so it was really, really awesome. Like that's never something we take for granted. Actually, like one of the seniors this year, Lindsay Krause, she like talked about that in we have like what we call a gratitude circle where someone talks about something and she was like, this is my 3rd Final Four in 4 years. That's something I'll never ever take for granted.
Crazy.
And I just like thought about that. I'm like, that really is like so special. So yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Going down to Louisville was so cool. That was our 3rd time there this year because we opened the season there and then we played Louisville in the regular season and then went there for the Final Four. And so it was just crazy from start to finish. It feels like it always like goes by really quickly, but also like it's never, it's like nonstop, like it's just go 2 matches a week every week until the end of December. So
that's crazy. Yeah, one of my favorite volleyball videos from this season was John Cook's "Okay Guys Thanks" that you guys put together. But how do you kind of come up with all those ideas? I know you have a team, but what goes into that creative process?
Yeah, that video specifically. So the presser video of Coach saying "Okay Guys Thanks," that popped up so randomly. There's a lot of stuff we plan. Every week we plan content of what we're gonna do. This one was unplanned and it just popped up. So basically at the end of each home match, there's pressers for the coaches and players. And in post match, we have a lot of duties. So the biggest one that we do is push out the post-game presser that Husker Vision pushes to us and
Mm.
make sure everyone can see it on all of our social platforms. While you're doing that, you also have to do post-match photos, game highlights, and then maybe some game reels from any big plays. And so you have about 20 minutes of presser. Since we're juggling all those tasks, we're like, there needs to be a way we can like know when the presser's over. And one day we just noticed like, Coach always ends the presser by saying, "Okay, guys, thanks." And we just thought it might be funny to like put in a compilation video and put it together. I'm just glad people thought it was as funny as we did because we were like, what if this flops? Like, what if they don't think it's funny? And so that's where that came from. Just like keeping an ear out when we were multitasking after the matches.
That's so funny. Wow. So you were an intern for this department in college at Nebraska. How did you just kind of get into all of this to start?
Yeah. So my major in college was called Emerging Media Arts. And basically it's like film and new media for those who don't know about it. It's a pretty niche major. And it was in its inaugural year when I was a freshman. I thought I wanted to do like feature film editing, you know, like for movies and do a lot of cinematic stuff. And sometime in my sophomore year, I was like, I actually don't know if this is for me. I'm just not feeling it. And one of my friends in the same cohort was like, hey, we're in this athletic internship. If you want to check it out, applications are opening at the end of this year. And this was in 2020. So COVID had just hit. I had no idea what it was going to be like. And so I applied, got it and just went into it. And that's how I kind of started. They had asked you, like they do this for all the students, what sports do you want to work? And most people are saying football, basketball, volleyball.
Yeah.
I was so scared that I wouldn't even like be considered that I was like, you know what? I'll do like men's and women's gymnastics because I have friends that do the sport and I don't know who else is asking to work in those sports. And they were like, you want to do gym? Great. Like we need people who love gym and want to work it. So that's where I started. And that's how I kind of got into the internship.
Wow. Yeah. So tell us more about the work you do with gymnastics now. Is it very similar to what you do with volleyball?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. So when I started with gym, I was, like you said, a student intern, and not every sport, just because we don't have enough people, but has a full-time lead on it. So gym, it was usually a student lead. And so I was working under, her name is Brooke Rage. She was the student lead and she kind of taught me everything and how to like run the ropes. And I was just doing like basic graphics and I would tweet whatever she would tell me to do. And then the more I learned, and whenever she graduated, she's like, okay, I need you to like take over. And so that's when I started to learn like how to manage social media, how to tweet, how to plan content. And then it so happened that one day the girl that was the lead for volleyball was leaving because she had another job. And then my director, Nick, at the time was like, do you want to do this? And I was just so like overwhelmed going from gymnastics to volleyball. Like I love both of those sports, but like volleyball has this insane audience that I had not ever encountered having to manage a team account for. So I was ecstatic and nervous all at the same time. But yeah, that's how that came to be.
Yeah. And you've done a lot with gymnastics. You made a graphic for an Olympian.
Yes.
Tell me about that experience and how you even got that.
Yes. So Steven Netarosik, who a lot of people know as the pommel horse guy, he was a Penn State alum and then made the Olympic team this year. He was featured on Dancing with the Stars, and they have this thing called Dedication Night where the stars get to pick a cause or a person, anything really like near and dear to their heart. Yeah. And then they can, dedicate their dance to it. He had chosen NCAA gymnastics because if you don't know, it's a dying sport. There's only like 15 NCAA teams through D1 to D3. Wow. Yeah. And so, his whole thing was like, I really want people to know, like, this is the whole reason I made the Olympic team. I would not be winning medals for Team USA without my experience in the NCAA. And so the president of CGA, who's actually an assistant coach at Nebraska, that's how this all worked out. He reached out to me like 10 p.m. the night before dedication night. We have this cool opportunity. Do you want to make a graphic for Steven? And I'm like, John, it's 10 p.m. But you know what? This sounds really cool. And this is kind of like a once in a lifetime kind of thing to make something for someone who has such influence and has such an important message too. Like I said, I had that connection back with gymnastics too. Like it is something I care about. It's actually what my senior capstone project was about, just men's gym as a whole. And so I made the graphic, I turned it around in like, I don't know, like 12 hours.
Wow.
Got it to him and he posted it. And yeah, we were like, I hope it gets like 5,000 likes. Ended up getting like 19,000 likes. Yeah, USA Gym shared it. It was really cool. And so that was one of the coolest things I've got to do, like make something for an Olympian.
Yeah. So you do graphics, photography, videography. How has knowing how to do it all those creative elements helped you get more opportunities?
Yeah. That's a huge part of it. Just being like well-versed in a lot of different things. When I was a student, I came in with like I said, like a video kind of specialty. Like they ask you in your interview, what's your bread and butter? What do you like to do? And I was like video all the way. I'm like now at a point where I think I'm better at graphics and photography than I am at video, which is crazy because not that I didn't have any interest in those areas. I just didn't think I would excel past video in those areas. And so that's also honestly what helped me get my job, to get kind of the lead position with volleyball, because they're like, if you're going to be on the road, if you're going to be traveling with them, you're going to have to cover a lot of areas.
Yeah.
You can't just do video. You got to know how to tweet. You got to know how to do photos. You got to know how to update score graphics. And so being thrown into that position really helped me learn very quickly. Like they're such a good team. They were getting like awards every week.
Yeah.
I had to make like a graphic every Monday without fail. I'd have to make a graphic every Monday. And so that really, really helped me like become well-rounded.
Yeah, I love that. Well, we'll have much more with Izzy after the break.
Hey farmers, join Boyk Farm Outfitters at Precision Planning's Winter Conference, happening January 22nd and 23rd at Innovation Campus in Lincoln. At Winter Conference, they'll cover topics like fertilizer inputs, weed management, spraying technologies, and priorities of the planter pass, to name a few. It's your chance to see new research that'll put you and your farm ahead of the curve, and it's free to attend. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this event's for you. Visit BoykFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot today.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own. Always in the driver's seat, huh? Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget, with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot. Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
.6'2", 192. Hardly Gilmore from the transfer portal from Kentucky. He's the shrimp at 6'1", 165. I'm joking, of course.
Live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier dealership, stocking top brands such as Can-Am, Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Indian Motorcycles, Sea-Doo, Manitou pontoon boats, and Triton trailers. Come check out Nebraska's newest Indian motorcycle dealership and ring in the new year the right way on an Indian motorcycle. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft to ring in the new year at their new 27th and I-80 location.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Make the 2025 deer season your best yet. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo Friday, January 17th through Sunday, January 19th. Check out the hunting seminars, browse the hunting and outdoor exhibits, sign up for the 360 blind giveaway, compete in the Big Buck and Monster Shed contest, try the 3D shoot and more. Get tickets at the door. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 17th through the 19th at the Sand Hills Global Event Center. 84th and Havelock in Lincoln, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area, with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
It's the new year, and it's time for a new John Deere. Acres has all new John Deere compact tractors, mowers, and Gator UTVs on sale with money-saving financing options. Whether it's recreation or landscaping, Acres has the John Deere for you. Visit your local Acres store for details. And don't forget, Acres has a full lineup of used equipment as well. Act now. These incentives expire January 31st, 2025. Financing program subject proof credit with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions may apply.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com. Ever wonder what it's like to work for a company that actually cares? At Lincoln Industries, they're revolutionizing local manufacturing while taking care of their most valuable asset, their people. When you join their team, you'll enjoy comprehensive health coverage, wellness initiatives that work around your life, and benefits that show they're serious about your future. Plus, you'll be a part of a proud manufacturing tradition right here in the community. Don't just take their word for it. Visit LincolnIndustries.com to see all their current opportunities and find out why their people love calling Lincoln Industries home.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. The end of season clearance is going on now with up to 50% off. Stop in now for best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coat, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
Back to Off the Field on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Kendall Lanier.
Welcome back to Off the Field. I'm with Izzy Panetta, the creative behind Nebraska Athletics. So if you look at Nebraska Volleyball's Twitter, a lot of the tweets are like fun and silly. How do you think you're able to show your personality through a lot of the work you get to do?
Yeah, when you're tweeting off a team account, you want to have like a very distinct voice that like when fans go back that they can like recognize like, oh yeah, this is the Husker Volleyball I know. It's definitely like one of the more fun parts of my job, like just being able to have some fun with it. Like, for example, like, I don't know if you ever saw this, but Coach joked in a presser that Liv's serve was like wimpy.
Yes, that was so
and
funny.
she was acing people left and
Mhm.
right. And so Harper like made him receive one of her serves
Yeah.
and he like shanked it so badly. But we like, I remember that. And like one time in one of the following matches, Livy served, or she served another ace. And so
Mhm.
I said, like, no wimpy serves here, like ace
Yes.
gets, or Liv gets the ace. And so like, you get to kind of have fun like that. Like stuff where your fans are like, oh, I know what you're referencing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try to like keep it loose, like especially when the team's having a run, which they often
Right,
are. They're
yeah.
just so talented and they have all these great runs and these great matches. So you can have a lot more fun and just like be playful. Like when we played Wisconsin in our regional final, it just happened to work out, that big
Yeah.
rivalry match. And like fans are mentioning it's on a Sunday and we're like, should we do a no sit Sunday graphic?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Huskers just live for anything like traditional or any callbacks to something that's happened. And so we did it, and like it was the loudest I've ever seen Devaney, and like
Yeah.
people were standing. It was the coolest thing ever. Like no one stands at
Right.
these matches except for like set points and match points.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. That was fun.
Yeah, I love that. going into kind of your responsibility as a woman in sports, but through media, I mean, you kind of have the responsibility to elevate these athletes and make sure they look good, uphold the Nebraska brand. How do you kind of take that on, and what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I definitely try like, one thing I always aim to do is show the fans maybe something they wouldn't be able to see otherwise, like, most of the time they're seeing them in an athletic context, like,
Yeah.
in matches or in interviews and stuff, and so I try to, like, show their, human sides and, like, just the way they're, like, playful with each other and, like, they're still at the end of the day, like, a close group of friends and they joke around like anyone else, and so I think showing that side of them, that authenticity side, really helps a lot. Also, like you said, just, like, as a woman, like, trying to propel women's sports, like,
Right.
there's such a huge name in collegiate women's sports,
Yeah.
like, I know there was an ESPN article about how, like, John Cook and Coach Pettit, like, over the years have built, like,
Mhm.
one of the biggest, like, envies of all, like, college
Yeah.
women's athletics, which I think is really, really cool, and I agree with that statement, like, I think we're up there with a lot of the other amazing teams, like, a lot of people like UConn women's basketball, like, they're
Right,
an
yeah.
iconic team, and same you could say the same about Iowa when Caitlin Clark was there, and so
Mhm.
I think it's really cool that we're a part of that conversation, and, like, it's my job to, like, make sure we're still in that conversation,
Right.
like, I want not just, like, fans, but, like, little girls specifically to look
Yeah.
to our account and be like, "Oh, that's so cool. I wanna be there one day," and
Mhm.
I think that's one part of my job too, is, like, helping push that part that, a lot of people wanna hear about and see more about.
Yeah. And you have an Emmy at only 22, 23?
23, yeah.
Like, that's crazy. How did you so from Volleyball Day in Nebraska, your team got the Emmy. How did it feel to kind of be recognized for the work you put in?
Yeah, that was really awesome. Our creative team won a regional Emmy for the Heartland region, and it was myself, Nick Burkhart, Alex Verherk, and Sonia Duval. And I want to shout out Sonia a ton because she was my co-editor. So we
Okay.
co-edited that piece that won. It was one of my favorite projects I've ever worked on. Also one of
Mm.
the hardest. If
Yeah.
you know, like, anyone who edits anything knows, like, video takes a long time.
Right.
And when you're editing a documentary episode about a world record event, there was so many times where we were like, "Are we done? Do we need to
Yeah.
add more? Like, are we
Right.
missing something?" We overcovered. I wouldn't even say that. We just covered as much as we could. Like,
Mhm.
we're like, for example, I told you, like, on a typical match day, I have myself and then 5 student interns.
Right.
On volleyball day, we had like, minimum 10 to 12 student workers from just our
Okay.
department.
Yeah.
And then you mix in communications and Husker Vision and everything else, and then external media, ESPN and Big Ten. Like,
Right.
it was just this major event. It was the coolest thing. And so, yeah, working on that docuseries was one of the hardest, but one of the most
Mhm.
rewarding things. Yeah, getting the Emmy was
Yeah.
I never ever thought, like, I would be a recipient of an award, and
Mhm.
it's a regional Emmy, which is really special to me, but I still think it's really cool. And yeah,
Yeah.
I feel really, like, fortunate. Honestly, we said, like, there was no way you could make this look bad.
Right,
Like, we were
that's
just
true.
very lucky,
Yeah.
like, that we had like, an amazing administration and marketing team and communication, everybody. Like, everybody
Mhm.
was just working together to make it the best possible event. And so
Yeah.
I felt very fortunate that we got to cover it and like, tell the story about it.
Is it daunting ever, like, covering an event that big? Like, we as viewers see the video and it just looks so seamless, but, like, you guys all had to break it down and, like, say, "Okay, you guys are gonna do this." Like,
Mhm.
was that overwhelming at all?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we joke about how perfect the day went just because there
Mhm.
were so many moving parts. Like, it was in the end of July or August. Like, how
Yeah.
hot was it going to be outside? Was
Right.
there going to be a heat advisory? There's a concert right after.
Mhm.
Just there were so many things, and it went so well.
Yeah.
That we were like, I can't believe it went as well as it
Right.
did. We just sat down and, yeah, what you said, like, went to a drawing board, like, here's how we're gonna break it down. And we broke it down to, like, the announcement, the sellout, the possibility of breaking a world record, actually
Yeah.
doing it. And it turned out amazing. Like, I still can't believe we covered that and did that. And,
Mhm.
like, also credit obviously to the team who
Yeah.
has this amazing reputation to to make an event like this possible. So yeah, it was just very daunting.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's just a testament to how awesome the team I work with is. Like, we were able to get that done and really produce something special that I'll like always brag about.
Yeah, that is amazing. And I know you started in film and kind of switched gears, but is this something you always knew you would be doing? Like, you're some sort of creative role, elevating other people. Is this something you've always envisioned for yourself?
Yeah. Funnily enough, no. I thought I was going to be an actuary.
Okay.
Yeah. I like was like in high school, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to school for actuarial science. That'll be great. I'll be in business. And
Yeah.
then my high school journalism teacher, she was like, don't take any offense, but I just don't think that's what you're going to do.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I could be great.
Yeah.
And it's like looking now, like she was totally right.
Yeah.
She was like, I really think you should give like a creative field a try. She goes, it just seems like you enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I like applied to the emerging media arts program. I got shortlisted initially and I was like, well, if it's meant to be, it'll be meant to be.
Right.
And then I got accepted like in early May. And so that's when I started getting into the creative side of things and learning a lot more about that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think a lot of people don't realize that your job can be a job. Like,
Yeah.
A couple months ago, Tennessee football team, they put out a video for their like dark mode uniforms. So it was like a really cool video and it went viral and people were like, oh my gosh, give the intern a raise. And like, it was cool. They were shouting them out, but they're like, this is like a real job. Like, people do this for a living. Do you think people like fully understand the work that goes into what you do?
No, like it's really cool though. Like, it's growing. So like 10 years ago, this was not a job. I mean, maybe it was starting, but like 20 years ago, let's say, most of the time it was like SIDs doing the writing and the photos and all of that for the team. They wore a lot of hats, or maybe the director of ops. It was there was no creative like role, at least not to this extent.
Yeah.
And so now there's a lot of attention being brought up to it. Like you said, like people saying, give it the intern a raise.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a full-time worker
Right,
making that. Like, I mean, sometimes it is an intern.
Yeah.
But like the people that animated that at Tennessee, those are like full-time workers who are well-versed in animation and in like cinematography and shooting. That was one of the coolest videos I've seen. We like took inspiration for that for a video we did with Lexi's jersey. And so that I think it's definitely starting to grow. I remember that's why I was thinking about being an actuary. It's like, well, this is like a sensible, practical job. Like this job exists in the world.
Exactly.
And so it's cool that, there's jobs now that like did not exist 5 years ago or 10 years ago, whatever it may be. It's totally growing, which is really neat.
Right. Yeah. And what you do is very unique and you post a lot on social media and kind of inspire and influence other creatives up and coming. Why has that been important for you to bring along other people in your journey?
Yeah, this season I first started kind of doing those vlogs. My first couple years, so this is my third year for reference, like traveling and like managing Husker volleyball. So where I've been like the lead. The first 2 years, and this is pretty just much like admin etiquette, if you will, like, stay low, like never identify yourself from the team account, which I'll never do. But this year, like the girls would like say hi to me in their vlogs or like mention me in comments, and then the fans started picking up like, oh, this is Izzy. And so this year I was like, I never thought anyone would ever care to see my perspective of it because I just didn't think of that, you know, but I got more and more comments and messages saying like, can you please like show us what a day in your life is like I'm interested. And so that's when I kind of started making those vlogs on like TikTok and Instagram because people were interested in it. And so I also just wanted to show people like sports media is very much a real job career, like a career field, and you can definitely do it. Like it's hard when, you have people telling you it's not a very practical field. And so I just kind of wanted to like have people who are my age or younger see like, you definitely can do it.
Yeah, that is so cool. And I know I remember seeing you in, I think it was a video Big Ten posted when everyone was coming down the hallway and like you just seem a part of the team. And I know we were talking about earlier, just the relationships you get to build doing this job. How has that been a highlight of what you get to do?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think one of the best parts about my job is I'm very grateful to be a part of one, like, just an amazing team, but like everyone, the players, the coaching staff, the support staff are not only like amazing at what they do, but they're all like just great people to be around.
Yeah.
And so I felt really fortunate. And so that's where all those like relationships are kind of cultivated. Like the team trusts me and the coaches trust me and the rest of the support staff does to like do my job. And I'm so appreciative. And I think that's why we have like kind of that tight, close knit bond. And like, yeah, the team is so awesome. They always like say hey and ask how I'm doing.
Yeah.
And like sometimes we'll go to the back of the plane. Like if people are sleeping, we'll go to the back of the plane and just like chat and talk about anything. Just
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like I cherish all of those moments. And I think it's really, really like rare and special to have those with the team.
Yeah. And before I even knew you, I'm thinking of like the video. I can't remember which one it was, but it was in the Devaney Center. And the girls would say like, Izzy, and like you can see how like you build people get to know you before they like know your face because the
Right.
girls are saying it. So like it's really cool that you get to kind of build your own platform and do what you get to do and influence other people. I was going to ask you what the transition has been like from working with athletics as an intern to now doing it full time. Just a full year almost into it. What has that been like?
Yeah, I was in a very like kind of unorthodox situation where I went from intern to temp to full time very fast. So most people graduate, become full time. I became a temp, I think my junior year, end of my junior year, and then I started becoming full time my senior year. And it was just basically like, hey, finish your degree and you can keep your job.
Right.
And so the transition has been awesome. I actually had like a bunch of weight lifted off my shoulder once I graduated. Because when I was a senior, I had the full-time job and I was finishing my capstone and I was like in extracurriculars like Greek life and stuff like that. And so thankfully when I graduated, it actually got a little bit easier. And so I was able to like focus so much more on work and like take more on and like shout out to my directors, Alex and Nick, and they like helped me a ton through that process. And so, yeah, that's how that went.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we'll have more of the Izzy after the break.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, that's 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
It's the new year, and it's time for a new John Deere. Acres has all new John Deere compact tractors, mowers, and Gator UTVs on sale with money-saving financing options. Whether it's recreation or landscaping, Acres has the John Deere for you. Visit your local Acres store for details. And don't forget, Acres has a full lineup of used equipment as well. Act now. These incentives expire January 31st, 2025. Financing program subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions may apply.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk about trading up. Not what you're thinking. You could never trade her in, but you can trade up her stone if you like. Signify the growth of your love, the challenges you have overcome, or any part of your love journey by trading up her diamond. Whether it's been 5 years, 25 years, or 50. Say it with a bling. Big love, big bling. We got you. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Back to Off the Field on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Kendall Lanier.
Welcome back to Off the Field with Izzy Panetta. We've talked a lot about the amazing projects you've gotten to do. Volleyball Day Nebraska, the graphic for the Olympian. What has been another one of your favorite projects that you have to share?
Yeah, one that was super recent that I had the privilege to work on was the big mural that went on Devaney that said 92,003.
Yeah.
There's no place like Nebraska. I remember thinking like, you know, it's kind of crazy. Like we broke this huge world record and there's no like physical thing in Lincoln that says we did it.
Mm-hmm.
We just have, you know, all of our records online. And so I went to my director, Alex, and then he, Marina Meyer, who's his boss, and kind of asked, like, is this something that's possible for us to do?
Yeah.
You know, like just commemorate this world record accomplishment for like fans to see when they come to our matches. I think I asked about it in February of 2024.
Oh, wow.
And so we started like, you know, getting like answers of what was possible, like how long it was going to take design wise. So myself and Sonia Duvall co-designed it. Sonia Litton now.
Mhm.
She just got
Aw.
married. And so but we co-designed it, and then we were formatting it. It was like, I can't remember the exact dimensions, but I know it was like, I think 200 feet wide. We were like
Wow.
crashing our computers and servers. We
Yeah.
had to split it up into quads just to make the
That's
file. Yeah.
crazy.
But they were these huge files. And so eventually it got rolling and it got approved, and it was just really cool. And Adidas got in on it and
Mm.
like helped make it happen. And so it went up. It like, we posted about it on August or September 23rd, which happened to be National Volleyball Day.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
That's
was
so
like a
perfect.
perfect coincidence.
Mhm.
And then like we're like 923, like 92,003, like what are
Yes. Oh
the
my
odds?
gosh.
So
Yeah.
it was crazy how it all worked out. But
Mhm.
yeah, that was one of my like biggest projects. I was glad to say that like I came up with that idea and it was able to happen with,
Yeah.
you know, the team that helped it.
That is so cool. And I mean, just the amount of work and detail that goes into something like that. I mean, you had never probably done something like that. How
Oh.
did you even think of that, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, it was asking a lot of questions and
Mhm.
research. I'm no pro in like large format design and printing.
Yeah.
So I was asking people in capital planning and people
Mm.
from other schools who had worked with similar kinds of projects. And like, I'm like, what do I need to know? Because the big challenge of this particular design was there were mullions. So like the borders of the windows that
Okay.
are not glass,
Yeah.
those would have to be cut out. And so we had to format it for that type of printing. Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, yeah,
Wow.
very, very daunting project. We did it. We like we're in like close connections with the printing company, like, hey, like let us know like how we can help and make this as easy for you as possible. Cause
Yeah.
I'm in digital. I don't do anything in
Yeah.
print.
That's
And so like
crazy.
this was one of my first print projects, and it was a major large format print project. And I'm just glad like we were able to get it done as a team, and it turned out really well, I think.
Yeah. That is amazing. I mean, that kind of takes some science skill, you
Yeah.
know, like some other elements that aren't just creative. But you have done so many creative things. How do you think this has kind of prepared you for anything that comes next? I feel like you know how to do it all.
Yeah, it's funny because in like this particular field, I think so many of us have imposter syndrome where like we've been doing it for years, but like still I feel like I don't know enough. And I do
Mhm.
feel like that sometimes. Like I'll see my coworkers do 3D animation, or they're doing, you know, like vector-based graphics, which are like what you see on t-shirts and stuff like
Okay.
that. And
Yeah.
those are like, it's so convoluted. And so it's funny because I'm like light years ahead of where I was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I still kind of feel like I'm learning something new every day.
Right.
But yeah, I think just being open to like keep learning is gonna help me. It's also gonna help me with like my students. Like like grant, like big picture, I want them to have the same opportunity I did to like have a great internship and get a job pretty much right after college.
Mhm.
That's what I would love for them. That actually happened to one of my interns. She
Aw.
got job at Northwestern. And
Oh,
so
wow.
she was one of my photogs for
Yeah.
volleyball, just super talented also. But that's my goal. Like that's what I
Right.
want all of them to have, and like
Mhm.
just take this opportunity to learn from me and I learn from them
Yeah.
too. And then hopefully they become just as successful, get a job somewhere that they love.
Yeah. And what has it been like being a part of programs that are so successful? I mean, I'm sure that makes your job a lot more fun, and it isn't always like that in sports. So, being a part of Nebraska athletics, who or volleyball in particular, what's that been like?
Definitely. I say all the time, like, they make my job so easy.
Mhm.
Like, it's very easy to cover a team that just has so much success, and like even through the losses, they're an amazing team. And yeah, like that's one reason why I get this question a lot. Like, are you going to go to pro sports? Do you want to leave
Yeah.
college athletics? And one of the reasons like college just kind of has, I think, the edge over is you have like anywhere from 20 to 30 teams to work with at any given school.
Right.
One of them is bound to be awesome. Like,
Yeah.
whereas if you work for a pro team and maybe they don't have a great season, or maybe it's really, really hard to work for that team. I mean, you're
Mhm.
doing it for the love of the team and
Yeah.
the love of your job, which is great. But I just think like it's really hard to sustain. So,
Yeah.
like, when you're in college, like, you're working with like I get the pleasure to work with volleyball and gymnastics, and I
Right.
just think that's so cool. Like they're very different. They're at different times of the year. having that variety, I think, makes it so much more fun.
Yeah. I know you said you're still learning different things, of course, but where do you kind of want to take your talents next? You want to try a new sport or just kind of fine tune the skills you already have?
Yeah. I have no idea where I wanna go next. I
Mhm.
love my job. Like, I'm very grateful. I think about that all the time. Like, not everyone gets, I think, the privilege to love their job, and
Yeah.
so, I'm lucky that I'm at a place where that's true, but, I definitely wanna, like, excel. Like, I wanna learn animation. I want to make things where people are like, "Oh my gosh, like, who made" which I guess people do, but I feel like I could do so much
Yeah.
more, you know?
Mhm.
And, I wanna really, like, really, really strengthen those things and just become overall better. Like, anything I can do to help this program, like, continue to stay on the map and continue to be in people's eyes, like, that's all I wanna strive for.
Yeah. And you have 4 interns or 5?
5, yeah.
5 interns. So, what has it been like switching into more of a leadership position and you kinda have the responsibility to teach them?
Totally. It was a huge switch up. When I was an intern, I was, like, shooting video most of the time at these home matches, and I would, like, see my work published at home all the time, and I was like, "Yeah, I shot that." And then when I switched into my leadership role, my director's like, "Hey, you kinda have to step back and, like, this
Yeah.
is, like, the time for your students to shine." Which I was like, "Oh, that kinda stinks," but also, like, that's the opportunity they gave me when I was a student, so, why wouldn't I wanna do the same thing?
Right.
And so that's why I like road games because I get to do everything. It's a lot,
Yeah.
but, I get to, like, post a lot more,
Yeah.
but it's really cool because at home matches, I just get to see, like, them post their work and be proud of that and, like, their faces light up like, "This is so cool that I gotta do something." And so, yeah, it's been a huge shift, but I've definitely loved it, like, just kind of having the keys and being behind everything. It's a huge responsibility, but I
For
feel
sure.
like, if I'm ever stressed out or anything, it's only because I care so much, and, like,
Yeah.
I just really wanna do my job justice and, do everything right for the team.
Yeah. And just being able to do this job in, I guess, like the rise of women's sports, volleyball in particular, of course, it's gained so much attention over the past year. And now with professional volleyball, what has it been like to be a part of something that's only going to continue to grow?
Yes, I was talking about this with my coworker Chelsea the other day, like, um, we obviously Nebraska is no stranger to setting attendance records, but
Mhm.
other schools in the Big Ten and other conferences were setting their own attendance records. Like
Yeah.
Purdue set some this last year, Stanford set some, and we were saying, how cool is it that we're seeing in real time a sport get more popular?
Right. Yeah.
Because like since I've been born and can remember, like football has always been popular, basketball and soccer have always been popular around the world. Like, you know, volleyball has just been there, and like we're
Yeah.
seeing like it happen before our eyes. Like this is must it would have been like whenever the sport was getting big, which was decades ago. Like,
Right. Yeah.
it's always been popular as far as I've been alive.
Mhm.
So I think it's the coolest thing to like see it in real time. Like you guys are becoming famous and
Yeah.
like household names. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. And of course, we know TikTok is maybe leaving us soon, but just the landscape of media, how do you see it changing, if any? Or do you think Instagram is going to be the right avenue for a lot of your guys' content?
Yeah, I mean, I think Instagram Reels is the immediate next step for most people. It makes the most sense. Most
Mhm.
people already have Instagram accounts, and their Reels was built as a platform to rival TikTok, anyways. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think Reels is going to be utilized a ton more just in the upcoming days when things kind of fizzle out or whatever happens. But yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. I mean, for I would say probably most accounts, if they're posting on Reels, they posted it to TikTok first.
Right.
Like it was a
Yeah.
TikTok trend. It was something they saw there. It was a sound they found, and then they just posted it on Instagram in hopes that it would do just as well. I mean, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And so, like our most recent reel, it was like the raise your
Yeah. I was
trend.
about to mention
Yeah,
that was so
yeah.
funny.
Um, that was on TikTok. And
Yeah.
so now it's like, okay, now what? Like if no one's able to post new content or we can't retrieve any new content there, like
Right.
maybe Reels will become that space. Who knows? I hope. I
No,
hope
I'm just
so.
like the creative sounds always come from TikTok. Like, can Instagram,
Yeah,
they
can they
don't
can they
yeah.
follow up?
Right.
It's so interesting too because like the algorithms are completely different.
Yeah.
Anyone can go viral on TikTok.
Right.
It's insane.
Mhm.
I have some like silly TikToks I made on my personal that I thought like it would get 20 likes from my friends, and
Yeah.
they like blew up and got like 100,000 views or something. I'm like, what?
Right.
And so I think that's like the cool part about TikTok that made it so appealing to people that anyone could go viral overnight.
Yeah.
And so who knows? Maybe Instagram will alter their algorithm to appeal to more people. Maybe they'll keep it the same. But yeah, that's definitely like something to look out for and see.
Yeah. Have you had to do you guys like strategize on this will get us more followers? Like, do you have those type of meetings, or do you think you guys just get enough attention in general?
Volleyball is so insane. It's
Mhm.
like its own thing. Like we joke, we could post a picture of like anything, like
Yeah.
a cup, and it would get like 10,000
Right.
likes.
Mhm.
But yeah, we definitely still strategize. Like everything is intentional still.
Yeah.
Because you don't get that following. Obviously, the amazing team helps,
Mhm.
but you have to have content that supplements what they're accomplishing.
Right.
So yeah, we still definitely plan out stuff. Like I knew making a video about the seniors and like
Yeah.
their freshman to senior self was gonna, tug at people's heartstrings a lot, especially because the fans just feel like so personal with them,
Mhm.
especially lately. Like we get more comments more than ever that fans feel very close to the players. And
Yeah.
so I have definitely catered a lot more of the content to that side of like personal connections with them, things that people wouldn't get to see, like we've said before. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That is so cool. And I know you get to do a lot of different things with volleyball, but for gymnastics, do you go to all their meets as well?
Yeah, with gymnastics, it's a little bit different. So I'm like the full-time oversight, but there's still a student lead. And so she
Okay.
travels with them.
Okay.
But like for now, for example, students are still on break. And so
Right.
sometimes she was home, which totally makes sense. And so I would step in and oversee practice and
Mhm.
be with them and work with their coaches too. And so yeah, it's definitely such a flip, like working with two different teams, but
Yeah.
it's really fun.
And you get to do so many different things. You've done so much, the Emmy, just so many different amazing things. How do you think you've been able to open the doors for other women in sports to come?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's kind of why I started doing those vlogs. Like we said, I really wanted people to see that this is totally possible for you too. Like anyone can go into sports media. And I really just like hope that they see that and see like, I'm gonna do that one day. I'm gonna get a job one day, and it just keeps growing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, you are such an inspiration, an icon. I'm so glad you came on here.
you.
If you want to see more of Izzy's videos, you can follow her at Izzy Panetta Creatives and everything she's doing. So thank you so much for coming on. And thank you guys for tuning into Off the Field.
Thanks, Kendall.